This is The Press coming to you live from Kaftan television studios here in the nation's capital. Now we have Kunle Lawon here in the studio, who is an executive director of the Electoral College, Nigeria. Very many thanks for joining us, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, and so now, looking at one of the stories, it says businesses lose 10 billion naira daily to the hashtag NSAs protest. What do you think? Is this just another way of sabotaging the protest and then just quoting figures?
Yeah, of course, 10 billion naira must be, of course, very far-fetched for them to make that statement. But let's look at it from a better angle. What is the value exactly, or what premium does the nation entirely place on a Nigerian life? Because if we're looking at the police brutality, which is what the NSAs has really been pushing against, you ask yourself the question, what is the price of a Nigerian life? So it's 10 billion naira that they're losing, supposed to be. And let's also look at the amount of money we lose to government corruption. Like, let's look at the case of the NDDC, or the fact that we spend 48 billion on health, we spend 40 billion on education, and 465 people in National Assembly are costing us 125 billion. So what exactly are we talking about?
So now, is this just a ploy to tell us, please end this protest?
Yes.
Because a lot of money is going down the drain.
It's not a lot of money is going down the drain. I can tell you what the federal government, sitting in their position, if you could picture into their position, what you picture, what you would feel they will feel, is that they've never seen Nigerians rise up like this.
Exactly.
And they are more scared of what the future is. And, you know, they will bring out funny hooks, this is that. You know, you find different government agencies throwing out, you know, tantrums instead of facing the actual job, which is governance. You swore an oath to protect the people of Nigeria when you were going into office. I don't know why you are recanting on that within office, and we don't understand that. Get to the problems, deal with the exact issues. Stop, you know, facades that don't make any sense. I don't think the NSAS protest is trying to back down on over usual government, you know,
I'm sure they were even caught off guard, especially with all of this happening.
You can, yes, of course, because let's be honest. If you listen to the presidency most of the time, they've called a particular generation a big brother generation, and they've always joked around such circles. So I think now they're really receiving what the big brother is about. So the generation is being big brother to government.
You know, I read one of the posts from one of the comedians. He said that they've been so patient with our leaders, and they've given patience to the wrong people. I think it's time, just like you said, it's time they are getting it the way they should. We also saw, concerning the NSAS thing, that the NECO is accusing the protesters. The NECO had to be rescheduled for these. The accusation here says NECO reschedules exam, alleges protesters seize material trucks. What?
You know, these are all hoaxes, and we know it's not true. And I also would like to explain that anytime there's going to be a transformational change in a country, if you look at the issues with the SARS in Russia, that's going way back, and you look at other countries, the Arab Spring and co. We're not saying we have the Arab Spring, but if you look at everything, there must be a cost. And if government is playing the blame game, well, they can continue. The fire would not stop in the kitchen. They sat down and they said they were going to be the government of Nigeria. What did they expect? The usual docile Nigerian that was not going to react on anything. Exactly. So you just wanted to float through 8 years. I'm being honest, I was shocked when I saw the picture in one of the newspapers that the Senate President, the House Speaker, and the President were in one room. I don't think that's happened in 5 years, except they are presenting budgets to each other on the National Assembly. So issues can actually happen.
We have another story on the blueprint, which is related. Nigerians who are in Ghana have been having issues relating to not being treated fairly in other parts of the world. And the story here says, Nigeria-Ghana diplomatic row deepens, traders protests locked shop. This has lingered for too long. It could be one of the reasons why Nigerians are rising up, especially the youth, to say that they need what's right in the country, because it's beyond NSAS, obviously. What do you make of this and what's happening in Ghana?
The truth is, we've seen this same situation like with the xenophobia in South Africa, and it's the same parameter. Till the Nigerian government puts value on the Nigerian people and starts to respect the Nigerian people, we will never get any respect from a foreign country. Citizens are treated how in foreign countries, that citizens in foreign countries are treated how their countries treat them. So if we treat the Nigerian citizen or the average Nigerian citizen as trash or as a waste paper bin or something that I can only use during an election for one vote, we're going to have this same situation publicly. Nigeria itself does not, in 1963, I think we signed that we stated that we're a non-aligned nation. We've remained non-aligned, but we do not protect our nation's rights. And in protecting our nation's rights, the government must protect its citizens' rights. And we divorce that, and we try and look at Nigeria separate from its citizens, which is totally impossible. So we will, of course, have those reoccurrences. We've had South Africa, we have Ghana. Where's next? I'm sure Malaysia, Britain, which we've had flashes of all that all over. So till Nigeria begins to respect its citizens, I don't see Nigeria taking its stand in the Committee of Nations.
Okay, so now still on the hashtag NSAS protest, you have Stop Army planned. Okay, they are planning to bring in army, the military, to stop the protest. Do you think that's like that's going to infringe on the right of the citizens to peaceful protest?
In the Nigerian Constitution, if you check between section 217 and 220, it states what the military can do, that's protect from external aggression, and it states clearly what the military can do.
Yes.
And it also states in that part of the Constitution, only with an act of the National Assembly can the military operate within a democratic setting and then attend to civilian issues. So their crocodile smile, which they said is about what they call it, about cyber hackers,
yes,
in quotes, according to them. Well, okay, that means they are counterlining functions. What's EFCC supposed to be doing? Or what is the NFIU, or what is ICPC supposed to be doing? The army is now going into Operation Crocodile Smile. So I feel it's unconstitutional. The military, of course, cannot try that in a democracy. They should know better than that. We're in a civilized country and we're quite exposed to laws. And I think the military should understand, and the government itself should stop with the shady threats. I don't think it was working, and they should realize. So what if this
goes beyond the threats?
If it goes beyond the threats and they call in the army, I have the feeling that probably some people in government will be held for war crimes.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, we have a story here. This is business related. It says 1.5 billion Kaduna plants may lead to Nigeria's industrial breakthrough. You're laughing. So what do you make of that?
Ajaokuta was 1990, I believe, and they said the same thing. This 35 years later, we're still looking at the ions in Abeokuta, in Ajaokuta, sorry, and we're looking at this now, saying what leads to industrial revolutions are access to technology and, of course, a scientific know-how. We're still spending 40 billion naira on education for a country of close to 200 million. I don't see that happening.
All right, now moving forward, they said Reps Gazette Water Resources Bill for reintroduction. Now, the very controversial National Water Resources Bill 2020 has been brought to the front burner for reconsideration. Do you think that's all what we need right now?
You know, it begs to say, the people, is the National Assembly actually representing the people? You know, at this point in time, I would have expected the National Assembly to make what you call very concrete bills on police reform. And the National Assembly has the power to do that. Instead, the National Assembly is facing a water resources bill, which, if you look at it clearly, does not affect the average Nigerian on the street. So I hold the National Assembly accountable also for not doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, you talked about the police reform. Now, let me ask you, do you think that the Inspector General of Police has the ability, with all that is ongoing, seeing that he has been there, to actually reform the police? Or he should just set the things straight and then leave for others to continue? You
know, I think what's true about the reform to police is that we seem to hold the IG a lot by the neck. The truth is that the IG is constitutionally regulated to only operate within the operational laws of the police.
Yes.
Now, who guards the National Assembly? Number one, the National Assembly must make the police accountable to the judiciary. And I'll explain where this problem starts from. Chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution actually covers the political, economic, social, developmental, and cultural rights of a citizen, but they are non-justiciable. Non-justiciable means that the court does not have jurisdiction over that. Now imagine all those rights, and a court cannot be justiciable. So the first thing I think National Assembly to do to show a good faith is to in a hand of show of good faith to the NSAs campaign and to people asking them for accountability and police reform is to make that chapter justiciable. When that is justiciable, we can now begin to ask real questions.
Okay, I'll take this one. Relating to what you just said concerning the restrictions on the IG. Now, we know that there's so much right on the president to elect who or to appoint who is the IG of at any point. Who do you think should have that right? Is it solely to the president, or there are some bodies who are responsible for doing this? Because it looks like there's so much on him, even though Nigerians are calling for him to resign. So what's the right thing to do?
In a civilized clime, the IG would have resigned.
Exactly.
In Nigeria,
Okay.
where we have the police under the Ministry of Interior, which is funny, it's actually supposed to be under the Ministry of Justice or under the Attorney General's office. But that also is also appointed by the president, which makes the Nigerian president the most powerful person on the planet in governance. So the truth about it is that the IG is only, of course, in short, limited to, like I said, his operational laws and whatever. But if you're looking for who to hold accountable, there's no way we can evade holding the president accountable, since a lot of power is vested in him. I felt one of the key things he should have done is not even exactly sack the IG, but order a reorganization of transfer of power, or how the police is being managed. And then, if you put them in the ministry, probably in tandem under the Attorney General's office, which will mean they're accountable to the law of Nigeria, it will make the judiciary more powerful. But, like I said, the executive in Nigeria is always trying to infringe on legislative and judicial functions, which is not supposed to.
All right, that will be all for now. Many thanks for coming on the program. We had Kunle Lawa. He is the Executive Director, Electoral College, Nigeria. It's been an amazing run with you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
All right. That's about all we can take. Please be reminded to follow us on all our social media handles for more gist. Please, my name is Winston Oketa.
And I am Annabelle Oji. Very good morning to you all.
Thank you.